Catch Me If You Can is certainly a deviation from, stylistically, from the films that Stephen has been doing through the years. And I would just mention at the outset that it's incredible to me that this is our 20th film that we've done together. Can you imagine? Over a period of about 30 years, which bespeaks something about the even-temperedness of Mr. Spielberg, I think. We're close friends and colleagues. It's been a wonderful experience.
Right here. So great, so great.
And in all of those years, we never really have done a piece like this. Catch Me If You Can, it's really a sort of bonbon, if you like. It's light, it's amusing and entertaining.
Carl, welcome to the FBI.
Oddly enough, about a serious subject. But as I say, this bonbon, for me, presented some interesting musical changes and slightly challenges, too, from the other films. It takes place in the 1960s, so some of the music, particularly the opening music, has a kind of 60s swagger to it and has a jazz saxophone that you would hear in that period. Brilliantly played and recreated by a member of the orchestra here that we have. And so that's been fun. Actually, for me personally, it's a kind of like a perfect regression because I would write some jazz music in the 50s and 60s when I'm very young. So it made a kind of a loop for me, a regressive loop, if you like.
Hey!
Most of the music is playful and whimsical, and there's material that I call closing in, that as the FBI gets closer and closer and closer to our subject and tracking him down for prosecuting him, this sort of jazzy music connects us with the tension of the closing loop of the ever-approaching FBI.
This guy's a no-show.
For Frank's character, and he does go through all of these different permutations and disguises and so on, his music is really uniform. Whenever he's conceiving of a new scam, a new trick, this magical little music that's kind of almost a little bit funny invades his character, and we go off with him on another escapade.
Must have slipped right off your neck.
And that little trigger, that little musical trigger, is always the same. There are a couple of scenes where he's linked musically with his father, where he's alone, where he's tired of the chase. He makes friends with the FBI agent over the phone and almost wants to be captured, we think.
It's over. I'm gonna stop now.
We also use period top 40s hit tunes.
Carl, get me in the car, please.
Hello?
Hi.
But in this case, I really went for melody and mood as opposed to relevance with lyrics.
The people in that little French village were so happy to see Americans. They decided to put on a show for us.
And there's old-fashioned songs like Embraceable You, the Judy Garland version, and Come Fly With Me, the Frank Sinatra version.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
And then, of course, you know, we have Johnny's score, almost an hour of amazing music in the idiom of progressive jazz that was very popular in the 50s and 60s. I think Charlie Parker would be very proud of him.
Catch Me If You Can has been a good opportunity for me to revisit some part of myself that's been slumbering dormant for a few decades now. I said to the orchestra yesterday, it's a kind of perfect regression, you know, to go back to some of this. But I have enjoyed that part of it very much, I think. And this, for me personally, it's been a nice musical trip.
This piece is so good, it's like the death of two salesmen.